This episode is dedicated to a very special film called The Railway Children. I saw it for the first time when I was a child, and even more recently I've seen it again several times in between, and I always get the same profoundly emotional reactions to it. I've realised that there are 5 or 6 versions of this film throughout the decades. I'm obviously speaking about the 1970 version. So the story centres around an upper-class London family, mother, father and 3 kids, Peter, Phyllis and Bobby. And they are spending a wonderful, warm evening together, and a knock comes to the door. 2 gentlemen escort their father away. Their mother knows a bit about what's going on, refuses to tell the kids in order to protect them emotionally, but the father is gone for an indeterminate amount of time. And that is the real first climactic turning point, when we see how immediate effects change the whole family. The effects are not only emotional, dealing with the absence of a father, there are also financial implications and general living implications. They have to leave their maids and their housekeepers. They have to leave their house in London and head for the countryside. And they embrace the countryside life. They make friends around the local area, including at the train station. During this second act of the film, one of the major turning points is they discover where the railway line is. And at one point there's a tree that they witness sliding down and collapsing over the railway. At the same time they hear an incoming train. So what they do is they use their petticoats, which are bright red. They go and signal alarm to the train, which stops just on time. And because of this major act of bravery that saves effectively the train from major collision, they are celebrated. The third act of the film has one major crucial climactic moment. The eldest sibling, Bobby, sees a newspaper and she realises something very profound about their father. Their father is innocent. So when Bobby realises that their father is well, alive and innocent, they need to find a way to get through in contact with him. So as they go back to the railway line and the train passes, there is one elderly passenger who is always on the train, and he makes eye contact with them, and he connects and he smiles with them. They start writing messages for him to read. He understands very soon that there is an issue in London with their father, and he is there to try and do what he can to help. One day, almost at random, the elder sibling Bobby happens to be going by the train station. The train pulls up. There's a lot of steam, and as the steam diffuses, gradually there is one silhouetted figure who remains on the platform after all the other passengers have left. And we're left with Bobby on one end of the track, and we have this mysterious figure on the other side. And once all of the steam has left and drifted away, we then realise, with a lot of emotional music, that that is the character of the father. And we have one of the most powerful and warm embraces between Bobby and her father that you could possibly imagine. We have been so emotionally engaged with all these characters throughout this film, even the father figure who had been absent for the vast majority of the film. But as this scene unfolds, with Bobby and the father reuniting and embracing, what we get is a truly magical moment. It wells you up with the powerful music, it wells you up with the powerful visuals, and it really wells you up with the incredibly powerful characters that are so well placed and so well cast in the film. The film is incredibly well accomplished. It's shot in a very naturalistic way. You don't really notice it. There are some really stunning performances. It's a really strong story. It's hard to fault. I could probably go and say that there are some minor characters who are overperformed. I really like the film. I give it a solid 7.5 out of 10.